Hey, it's Hannah, welcome back to my channel. So, I'm sure you're all aware of the Black Lives Matter movement that's going on right now, and in addition to signing petitions and donating to the charities and stuff, it's really important that people educate themselves right now, and there's loads of resources online that do that, and I don't know, there's a lot of people that as a dancer have sort of really keyed into the dance world, and I just wanted to express gratitude for that and try and sort of potentially educate people on just how much black culture has influenced dance and entertainment industry. And yeah. Now, I'm no expert on this, I've seen a few posts that are helpful, and these are kind of just names that signpost you if you want to find out more, and if you're just interested you can just find out a little bit about black culture in the entertainment industry. Firstly, just jazz in general. So for those of you who don't know, it started in New Orleans in America, and this was one of the first multicultural places really early on, and that's because a lot of the slaves went there, and this jazz music formed partly from the African rhythms and stuff they brought with them, and obviously that went on to create jazz music, jazz dance, and like my degree is in jazz dance, so that's like a huge thing, and that's like a whole separate topic. But yeah, jazz just is black culture really, and we are forever grateful. One of the people that came from that sort of area was Josephine, and I actually studied her a bit for my degree, and it's incredible the amount of oppression and struggles she went through in her early life, and yeah, she just completely pushed for it. So she was a dancer, singer, that she was from America, but actually most of her career happened in Paris in the 1920s, and she worked super hard for everything she had. She almost had to work twice as hard, and she actually became well known for the Charleston, among other things, but she was also an activist for civil rights, and she really came to symbolise the beauty of black American culture over in Europe. And I remember there was all sort of like hairstyles and creams and stuff that people made after her, and she became a really sophisticated woman, which was completely unknown at that time. Another big name in the history of dance is Arthur Mitchell. He was the first African American dancer with New York City Ballet, and he danced for them 1956 to 68 and was one of the most popular dancers there, really achieving international stardom. But one of the key things he then did was he founded a training school, which basically the sole intention was he wanted to provide the children of Harlem with the kind of opportunities he managed to have, and that school now has more than 300 students. And he also created the first African American classical ballet company, the Dance Theatre of Harlem, which now tours regularly and still performs at City Centre. And even between seasons while he was still dancing, he was performing in Broadway and on TV and just everywhere really. And I actually have a quote here from him that his greatest achievement was that he actually booked society and an art form that was 300 to 400 years old and brought black people into it, which just says it all. And he actually had 2 roles created for him by George Balanchine, which is, I mean, Balanchine is one of huge name in ballet, huge name in ballet. If you don't know it and you're a dancer, I really advise you to look into it. Yeah, and he had 2 roles, and he actually was kind of always identified afterwards with his puck role in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Next up we have Alvin Ailey. So he was again American choreographer and activist, and he founded the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre in New York in 1958. This is a hugely popular multiracial modern dance ensemble which popularised modern dance around the world because they did extensive world tours. His most famous work was one called Revelations, and he actually received the Kennedy Center Honours in 1988. But he created his company with the vision of a company dedicated to enriching the USA modern dance heritage and preserving the uniqueness of the African American cultural experience. He also established what is now called the Ailey School in 1969. The Nicholas brothers, they were called Fayard and Harold, and they performed highly acrobatic technique routines. It was known as flash dancing back then. I'm going to put some clips in all over the place. It's kind of incredible. It's really high level, really daring, and considered by many as the greatest tap dancers of their day, which was the mid-1900s. Yeah, huge stars. A few other names I'm going to mention, but I don't have much information on. You've got Bill Bojangles Robinson, who is an African American tap dancer, actor and singer. And he was best known and most highly played black American entertainer in the USA during the first half of the 20th century, and I'm pretty sure there's the songs about him, so huge name in the entertainment industry. There's Pearl Primus, who played an important role in presentation of African dance to the American audiences, and she felt the need to promote African dance as an art form that's worthy of study and performance to this day. Gregory Hines is an American dancer, actor, choreographer, singer, considered one of the most celebrated tap dancers of all time, and he starred in more than 40 films and made his own mark on Broadway in addition to that as well. Frank Hatchett, who was a huge jazz dancer and founded New York's Broadway Dance Center in 1985, that's still running, people love it there, and he always remained true to his foundational style and went on to teach at like huge world-renowned conventions. A huge name everyone will know is Michael Jackson, obviously American singer, songwriter and dancer, and he was called the King of Pop, regarded one of the most significant cultural figures of the 20th century, and he really was one of the greatest entertainers in the history of music and really set the precedent for singers who were also strong dancers for many years to come, as well as his signature moonwalk and really bridging the style between West Coast street dance and the East Coast breakdancers. And we've had a lecturer speak on him and how the moonwalk came about and stuff like that, so it was integral not just to the sort of black representation, but also he really changed the dance styles around. Another huge person, Misty Copeland, so she was the first African American female principal dancer with American Ballet Theatre. She's still performing there, and she's been recognised by a huge range of institutions because she's just had such incredible achievements. In fact, she was also named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in 2015, and now has 2 best-selling award-winning books, and like just watching her is incredible. She's been on Jimmy Fallon and all sorts of like shows like that as well, so she's really bringing it to everyone. I mean, they're just a few names. I've also got, there's a company, Ballet Black, so they're a London-based professional ballet company for international dancers of black and Asian descent, and they were founded in 2001 actually to provide role models to the young inspiring black and Asian dancers, and their ultimate goal is to see a fundamental change in the number of black and Asian dancers in mainstream ballet companies, not just theirs. So they're really focused on the representation we see elsewhere. My personal current influences, there's tons of them. I mean, they're just a few names, there's so many more that have really contributed, and I don't know, I just really wanted to make this video to kind of show my gratitude to black culture and also point out that you may not realise how much of an effect people of that descent have had on your life. Like, I feel like the entertainment industry affects almost everyone, and it's such a key part of it, and we're just so grateful. And I just wanted to help with the education of, you know, these people had to work so hard just to get what their white counterparts got for half the work most of the time, and they really tried to, you know, move it along and set a new precedent, and it's incredible what they've done. yeah, so some of my current influences of this sort of background, there's Matthew Deloch. He's on TikTok, he's done Newsies, he was on So You Think You Can Dance. Jackson Willard? I don't know, he was on World of Dance and he's incredible. Beautiful, very moving. Misty Copeland, who I've already pointed out. Oti Mabuse on Strictly. I think she's incredible. Just generally, she's really, you know, positive influence. Diversity, the crew from Britain's Got Talent. I feel like they really influenced street. Like, my camera just died. I'm not sure. So I moved on to like musicals that kind of address it or show really good representation, or just I think would be good to watch. Hamilton, personally, I've never seen, but it's going to be streaming on Disney Plus, so that would be a good one to watch. Hairspray. Now, I've actually seen a thing that the writers, I think it's the writers, have now declared that you can only cast people accurately to their characters, because there have been issues in the past of characters not being cast with the right representation, and that's so sad. But also I feel like if you've seen the film, it carries such a relevance to today, and the events in it really mirror today, and it's sad in a way that it's still relevant after so much time. And I hope that this time we really do move forward. There's just, you can't believe it's still a fight now. It's human rights, you know? But anyway, so Hairspray is always a good one. Personally, and Juliet, so I went and watched it back in February, I want to say. When I watched And Juliet, it's a new musical, and I think that was one of the most diverse casts I've ever seen on a stage. And it was incredible because it wasn't like drawing attention to it, it was just how it was, and it was just, I highly enjoyed it. And yeah, I felt like they really showed how we have moved forward in representation, and hopefully more shows are like that in the future. That's kind of all the information I wanted to get out. Obviously there's so much more out there, but I just wanted to make this as a thank you in a way that I know I'll never understand, but I am grateful for all that black culture has given me in my job, in my life, and I can never understand, but I support you, and I hope that this helps educate some people potentially, or point you in directions you can find out more, and just, yeah, keep signing petitions, donating, supporting people, and help out, because we're all human, and I hope we can all learn to love each other. And yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed this, or this is useful, or yeah, I hope you can all stay safe, and I will see you on the flip side with another video. Make sure to comment more people that you feel deserve a bit more recognition, or more links to petitions where you can donate, other resources of educating in different ways. And yeah, thank you for watching.